And are you refreshed? Good. Now what? We have lots to talk about, don't we?
Well, it's good to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
We've enjoyed this interaction immensely.
What I want to do is, I know the essence of what has been coming up. So something specific came up to play with you about. Well, it's really about what's happening right now.
Focus matters, doesn't it? So
it's been the next logical step for a while. It's moving fast, and I can see it moving. But what's in my vibrational reality, I can speak from the flow of consciousness.
yeah.
Pretty much all the time. And
Well, what she's getting at, you're probably following a little bit, but she's beginning to receive. It's halting and much more difficult under these conditions, yes? So what makes you want to do it now? In other words, if you're doing it, what's this about? Why is it important to have this conversation with us here and now with all of them listening in, when there are other times that it's so much easier? You see what we're getting at? Why introduce that unnecessary resistance into something that's important?
because the resistance is going to be what?
Because why?
The resistance is what's going to be the contrast that propels me forward.
That what?
Propels me to the next step.
Well, that's true, but we had this conversation just a little bit ago that the contrast happens in step one. You don't need contrast in every moment. And so do you accept that the contrast has already happened?
Okay,
And
so that's something I do want to ask you
Yes.
about.
Yes.
And it's fun to see, but I do ask the question, why? When it's already done in my vibrational reality, and yet the contrast comes and comes and comes, and it fine-tunes and it fine-tunes and it fine-tunes, and I think, well, it's already done.
But let us put more words to that sort of contradictory statement that we made. Nothing's ever done. But there is a vibrational reality that exists that you can focus into being. So it's like this. So life causes you to ask for something, and there it is. It's complete, and it's an asking, and Source has answered it, and it's ready for you to receive it. But often before you even receive that, then life causes you to ask for even more, so you change it a little more. And then before you even receive it, life causes you to ask for a little more, so it changes a little more. And so it's always in the process of becoming more, and you're always in the process of receiving it in its more and more full fashion. But you sort of have to trust and let it begin. This is one of the things that we really want you all to find an easy, soft way of acceptance. You never get it done, and you can't get it wrong. You may have heard us say that. We say it a lot. But in this conversation that we're having here today about getting ready to be ready to be ready, and bigger subject of thoughts turning to things, vibrations turning to thoughts, and thoughts turning to things and experiences and relationships. In other words, this physical manifestation is what all of you are looking for. It's what you think is the main event, and it certainly is the furthest most event. It certainly is the manifestation of things, certainly is the energy going further and further and further. But even once it begins manifesting, you keep modifying and wanting the manifestation to get better and better and better. So the point that we're really wanting you to hear in this segment of conversation is that so many people stand in the missing or in the absence of something they want. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a better job, maybe it's more money or a happier life experience in one way or another. And so they stand in the absence of it, wanting the presence of it to come while they're feeling so much the absence of it. Well, we've been talking all day. If the absence of it is what's dominant in your vibration, then the presence of it can't come. So you've got to lighten up a little bit and not notice so much what isn't happening. So let's say you do that, and now you allow yourself to be the receiver of something that you want. It's not just a dream. It's not something that's sporadic. It's something that's full and steady in your life experience. So now you're living it. It's manifested. Let's say it's a relationship or a job or a house or something. So now you're living within it, but because it isn't complete, you keep thinking of new ways for it to even be better. And so you keep launching more rockets of desire. So we want you to get this visual that there are all of these creations that are in various phases of your ability to see them that are unfolding in your process. So some things you're just getting started at, and you're just beginning to allow them, and they're sweet, but they're general, and the momentum's picking up, and you're having experiences about them, and eventually they'll pop fully into your experience. So some of them are ready to pop fully into your experience. Some of them are more subtle things that you just kind of have awareness of. And the important thing is that you are happy about these things that you're just having subtle awarenesses of. In fact, as happy about those things as you are about these things that are popping fully into your manifestation. But most of you only care about the things that are popping into your manifestation. Esther said to us not that long ago, Abraham, I get this. I've been hearing you for a long time, and I like meditating, and I like lining up, and I like thoughts turning to things, and I like getting ideas, and I like rendezvousing, but I got to tell you, I love manifestations, full-blown manifestations, really, really, really a lot. And we said, we know you do, but you've got to allow all of it to be, because the corn has to be in the ground for a little while before it's going to be a full manifestation. And if you're insisting that it be full all the time rather than enjoying the process of it, then it's not ever going to be full. And the most important thing is we want this part of it to be as satisfying to you as this full manifestation part of it. And so that's really what it's all about, isn't it?
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm ready to teach. That's the inspiration that came. That I'm ready to be ready. I'm not.
There you go.
It's getting closer.
There you go. Now you see, you said, I'm ready to teach. And we wanted to say, not quite. Not quite. But then you got that next thought. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready to be ready to be ready.
Well, I wasn't going to have anything up here today, anything to speak about. It was going to be general, and then I wanted the inspiration to come as I was sitting here. And then the thought came, well, something specific would be helpful to focus on. I work much better when I can focus on something specific. I'm getting ready to teach, but that will come obviously as a consequence of being, but the being is coming first, and it's the being that I want to strengthen and stabilize, but it's more than the being, it's the momentum of what's in me to come out in a way that is of value to me and to everyone. It is the momentum, it's there. I'm getting closer every day. It's getting more and more.
One of the things that we want to say to you softly, and we know that you'll hear it, is that as you focus with intensity, which is what you're doing, and focus implies more intensity than not focus, and being more deliberate implies more focus than being lackadaisical. But sometimes there's a determination. You feel really determined about something, and that determination works against you, because you decide to do something before you're ready to allow it. And so you're demonstrating that in a very obvious way, but everyone's living it relative to different things. In other words, sometimes when you want something so much, your sheer force of will works against you. And so it's a relaxing, it's a just letting it be, it's a trusting the timing. It's really about not being so determined. And that's why over time we've found a very effective way of saying to you, step one is asking, and you've done that, and step two has already happened too, and now focus upon step three. Well, you're not focused upon step three with the words that you're offering here. You're more in that determined stance. Well, that determined stance is a necessary part of the equation, but it's already served its purpose. The determination, the desire, this is something I want, you've already set that into motion. It's already understood by your inner being. It's already agreed by your inner being. It's already being offered. But there's something that is causing a sort of haltering of it, a holding up of it, and it's that sheer determination. Last week we were visiting with someone, and they'd been to another seminar, a well-known seminar by a very good teacher, but it's about effort and goals and determination and decisions, and those things are not apart from what we're talking about. We just don't put the emphasis there because we know that your life in and of itself is going to cue you up to what you want. It just does. There are some things like this that you were born to do.
So I have a question. So I work very well with emotional goals. It's very, very helpful to me. It's the way I do this whole thing, and I do it in very much an empowered way. So I give myself I work mostly in the emotional realm, not further along the momentum scale to manifestation. So
your question is?
So that involves a kind of determination in a way. I would say it was an empowered determination, and it's exhilarating. And so are you saying I'm becoming aware of this, so I'm just seeing if I've understood it right? Are you saying there's a
We're saying that you can't talk and listen at the same time. And we're saying that you can't ask and receive at the same time. We're saying that there's a time to ask and a time to receive.
Can you expand on that, please, in the context of
what your emotions are? Your emotions are nothing more, nothing less. We don't want to minimize the importance of your emotions. But what your emotions are your indicator of the vibrational equivalency between you and you. Do you follow what we mean? If your inner being who always feels love, if you're angry about something, there's no vibrational equivalency. This is not specifically for you, but when you meditate or appreciate and you allow your vibration to rise so that you are in a state of love also, now there's a vibrational equivalency that allows those vibrations to turn to thoughts and for you to receive them with your mind. And so when you say you work with emotions, that's important to understand that you can sort of feel your way. That's the best way to choose thoughts, is by feeling your way to them. Here and now, we cannot spend with you the next 2 hours talking in these vague and general terms because it's not of benefit to everyone. And so what we want to ask you is there something that has formulated within you? If you're in the receiving mode, and you often are, what is it that you are receiving that is an enhancement to this conversation that we're having right now? And if you'll just relax and not try so hard to think your way to it, the thought will come to you and the question will be there and the answer will be meaningful too.